You are now dialed in with the Dial Brothers.
Top of the morning to you.
No one says that, but good morning. Well, some people may be watching this and it's good evening or, good afternoon.
Right. But when it premieres every week, it's in the morning. Really, unless we're talking about somebody watching internationally, it's in the morning.
Okay. Well, good morning.
Good morning. Look, speaking of that, again, hey, y'all, we want you to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, but also listen to us on the different podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and there's another one. But speaking of international, I forgot to tell you, there was somebody, I can't remember from where, I think somewhere in Europe, that it said was listening to the podcast. I think it was on
cool.
Apple. Yeah, so it's cool.
That's
So, hey,
cool.
look, the Dialed In Show has gone global.
There you go. And we now have social media. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook, The Dialed In Show. Just search that name. You'll find it.
Perfect. How was your weekend?
It was good. Busy, but good. And it was 94 degrees in Dallas yesterday. I don't understand this weather because later this week, it's going to be 53. 94 degrees in February. We broke a 100-year record. Not fun.
Remind me, on my way in this morning, I saw your governor make a comment. We can talk about that during politics, though, but don't let me forget that.
Governor. I saw your governor yesterday, too. All right.
Oh, well, hey, we can talk about both of them because I learned something new yesterday that some of my lighter-skinned brothers and sisters weren't happy about. But yeah, the weekend was good. I go to church every Sunday.
Okay.
Huh? Oh.
What does that mean?
What?
You said I go to church every Sunday. Okay.
No, I'm just saying. So that's what I did yesterday. You probably didn't go to church. You go to church every other Sunday.
Yesterday wasn't Sunday, but okay. Let's move on.
Whatever. All right, man. What we got?
All right. So, we'll start the show talking about being grateful. Do you remember getting your first car?
Yeah.
Okay. I do too. Were you happy when you got your first car? Did you care what the car was?
Nah, it was it was an old Volvo. I was happy to have something to get me from one place to another.
Exactly. I had a 97 Dodge Neon. I was just happy that I had a car. Well,
yeah.
Some people have preferences and get upset. Take a look at this video.
I said a Mercedes Benz. I don't like
$1,600 for
That's it for my sweet 16 and my golden birthday?
This girl was upset that she received a Tesla for her 16th birthday and only $1,600 because she wanted a pink Mercedes Benz.
Oh, you gotta this is better than a Mercedes Benz.
It's not. I don't want no car that if I gotta charge it for it to work. I didn't want that.
Girl, you gotta be grateful that you got a damn car.
I could have just been walking. You gave me a car I didn't even want, and then you gave me little money.
Her parents ended up taking her to the dealership to pick a Mercedes for her sweet 16th birthday.
And I felt kind of bad. I felt like I ruined her birthday. Let me see. Oh yeah, this one's good. Okay, yeah. I'll get this one. It's gonna be her sweet 16th birthday present.
What do you think about this? Was the daughter ungrateful for the Tesla and the $1,600 gift? And what did you get for your 16th birthday?
This would be a successful birthday.
What got me too is when she said, and you only gave me little money. She said, I don't want no car.
She got like $1,600, didn't she?
She said, I don't want no car that you got to charge up to use. I think part of it was ignorance. I think she didn't understand the whole charging concept. But what ticked me off was when they went to the dealership to get the Mercedes, the mom talking about, oh, I feel so bad because I feel like I messed up her 16th birthday. Man.
She was ungrateful, and I wouldn't have got her anything. Like, one, she's young enough to know that Teslas are not cheap. So getting a Tesla electric car, even if it's not the car you wanted, if you got a Tesla for your sweet 16 or whatever it was, come on now. I wanted a Mercedes. Man.
Privileged people problems. Hey. Well, and look, she got what she wanted. So
But see, when you do that at a young age, then you're gonna expect that for the rest of your life. And that's not a good
Yeah,
trait to have.
especially when mom and daddy gone. Yeah, you better. She must have a job to get her own stuff like that. Because man, hmm.
I just can't believe she was mad that she got a Tesla. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. Even like you said, even if inside that's not what she wanted, she should have not said that. Look,
ungrateful.
we lost a great man this past week. Let's check out something funny from the great Eric Mays.
Take a 5-minute recess without this. Well, then y'all better focus because I want order.
So, as someone who covers politics, if I was able to cover those city council meetings, it would be way more entertaining. I'll put it like that.
Look, I want order. I want order. Eric Mays is a legend from Flint, Michigan. I mean, hey, I think every city council, every county commissioner, whatever, needs at least one Eric Mays serving on the board. That's man. Tell it
And
how it is.
some of them have an Eric Mays. It's just not as colorful as he is.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. Need somebody colorful. Need somebody colorful like him, man. And it's cool. Even though they don't like him, I'm talking about some of the people that's on the city council. But it's cool just seeing somebody telling the truth, especially a black person telling the truth in their natural form, not trying to make it sound
Yeah.
sophisticated. He
Yeah,
just
he
say how
said
it
he don't
is.
sugarcoat it. He was
Yeah,
I think he reminds everyone of a certain uncle that they have in their family or grandfather, something. That is
yeah,
Eric Mays. I was
yeah.
looking
So
at one of the videos. He was on a Zoom and he was drinking wine out of the bottle and smoking a cigarette. He was himself to the end.
R.I.P. to Eric Mays, man. This is still Black History Month, Stephen, right?
Yeah, man, you look tired. You can wipe your eyes about.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit. Hey, it's now I'm gonna be honest with you. School this last week, this week, and this week midterms, Lord, this is a uh rated PG podcast, but gotta be careful what I was about to say. But this stuff is kicking my butt. Did you diagram sentences in high school? I don't know if you did or not. Either way,
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know what that means. What is that?
look, look,
What
look.
is diagram sentences?
What I really want to say, I have to tell you off camera, because I didn't know. I can't say what I want to say. I didn't know either, but until I got where I ended up going, and man, I hated it. It was like you break down a sentence, and this is the subject, this is the noun, and they draw these lines and everything. I say all
Oh,
that to
I've
say,
seen that.
okay, well, it's come back up now in school, and man, I'm so I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this. this because I'm like, I ain't do it when I was in high school, so it's like I
Oh
don't want
wow!
to do it
Don't
now.
tell on yourself. Don't tell on yourself. It is still Black History Month. This is the last dialed in show for February, and we just want to say, uh, we're happy that we were able to profile some Black businesses. Cookie Society here in Texas, New Black Wall Street, which is in Stonecrest, and Eastside Golf. They actually are about to drop some new shoes. I just saw it on Instagram, and we gotta get some of
I
those shoes.
can't get
If
them.
if you'll ever go on a golf course, Micah refuses to go on a golf course. I don't know why.
No, it's just
No,
whenever you try and get me to go.
you refused the last like 2 times.
Every time you try to get me to go, it's either
Mhm.
bad weather or I'm tired or whatever. Look, you coming home this weekend, I'll tell you right now, if the weather's good and if I'm not tired, I'll go.
Well, that's like a 15% chance.
I don't know. I don't know. But hey, I'm wearing Mouse College. Stephen went to Claflin University. In addition to supporting Black businesses, we should all support our HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities. Make sure that if your child is about to graduate in May, that at least one HBCU is on their short list to possibly go to in the fall. I don't think any black kid should not at least have it on the list of
Right, and
options.
that doesn't mean you gotta go, but
No,
you should definitely
no,
consider. You should definitely consider.
yeah,
I just I volunteered last weekend at a HBCU fair, and now granted, Claflin and Miles are smaller colleges, but it was pretty cool, like all the way being all the way in Texas, and some parents or students knowing Claflin. I mean, we are top 10, since I graduated, but still, um, it is cool that parents are making sure that their kids are considering all colleges, not just in-state colleges or PWIs. It's always good to like you said, have it on lists. At least have it on
yeah.
the list.
Because well, now let's be honest. As you said, Claflin's top 10 and everything. Now, the vast majority of them not necessarily going to have all the bells and the whistles that some of these
Yeah.
PWIs have. But there's certain value that you gain from going to an HBCU that you just cannot get at the traditional PWI. And PWI, for those who don't know, is a predominantly white institution. So we are talking about the difference between black people and white people.
Why did you
But
have to explain that?
because somebody might not know. They might be saying they said what HBCU is, but they keep saying PWI. What
We
is
didn't say what
PWI?
HBCU was.
I did.
We
It
didn't say
says
what
historically black college and
Oh,
university.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So now you might go and your dorm might not be as nice, your class might not be as nice, but I promise you go get the same or if not better quality education, uh, and probably
You got
better
some
experience.
good food in the cafeteria on
You
certain
being
days.
sarcastic? Oh, you say on certain days. Yeah. But or you could go, hey, especially the bigger the HBCU you
Yeah.
go to, they have
Well,
nice
some of them big ones be having problems too.
oh,
But yeah,
yeah. Yeah. But like Claflin, and we're not about to spend so much time on this, but Claflin is building a phenomenal
yes. Student center. Let's
student
go.
center.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. Now that's a PWI looking type thing.
Yeah.
And some people
Claflin's
wouldn't like
doing
that
it.
I just said that, but
But I get what you're saying. All right.
yeah.
So, how many of you guys lost your phone service last week? Luckily, I did not. Micah didn't either, but Micah ain't with AT&T. Uh,
Yeah.
so some people are upset. Well, one, they were upset that their phone service went out. AT&T is doing a great offer for those who lost service. Micah, do you know what they're offering?
Isn't it $5?
Yeah.
Man.
They said that's the equivalent of a day's worth of service.
Well, they could have just kept it.
But when
They
I
really coulda
saw
kept
that, I said, if $5 worth a day of service, then why the phone bill? So, because if think about it, if it's $5, I don't know if y'all be looking at phone bills, but
it. Well,
if
what's
they're
5
saying,
times 30? 5 times
I don't
10
know.
is 50. So
Let's see.
what's 150? You ain't lying. That's
That's
still
150. But
that's
then,
cheaper.
yeah, they're charging you for data and all that stuff too. You're on the internet and stuff. But do you think? I mean, and look at how many customers they have, though. That money adds up. But you're saying if they were only going to offer $5, they shouldn't have did it.
Yeah, I mean, don't nobody care. You're not even gonna see that. I mean, okay, if they get that credit on your next bill, ain't nobody gonna care about $5. They could have kept that money. And AT&T screwed up a lot of stuff last week. I know some people who work for AT&T, and they screwed up a bunch of stuff last week. But here's what was funny. That day was our mom's birthday, the day that it
Right.
happened, and she wasn't getting any phone calls or messages. And you text me and asked me if my phone wasn't working either. And it was hilarious. My phone was working, but I was acting like it wasn't. And I went down there and I told mom, and I said, he think my phone out too. I said, but I'm gonna wait. I said, I'm gonna wait and act like my phone was messed up, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I even said it on my news story because I did a story. I mean, AT&T is headquartered, its world headquarters is here in Dallas.
Mm.
I couldn't call my mom. I had to call Micah to talk to my mom on her birthday. Yeah, I bet you she was probably in her
Oh,
feelings.
she
Like,
was pissed.
ain't nobody texting me.
Yeah. She was pissed, but I mean, it's just one of those things. I know a lot of people having these conspiracy theories or saying that this is proof of like the end of the world or whatever, that
Mhm.
they have so much control over us because if I'm not wrong, I believe early in the morning, it was more than AT&T. It was AT&T, T-Mobile,
Yeah.
and Verizon, if I'm not mistaken. And
Hmm.
it's just the other two got theirs straight.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is a little off-putting to know that at any moment they can just
Yeah, but
shut
and
everything
it speaks
down.
to our lives are connected to our phones, which I'll admit. I mean, my phone is glued to my hand. I interviewed some people that day, and one woman, she said she was going to. It was her cousin's birthday. She was going to pick her up for lunch, but she didn't have cell signal. Um, and she said, I pulled over at Starbucks to put the GPS in on the Wi-Fi, and so I guess she was able to use offline GPS. But then she was like,
Mhm.
I couldn't listen to Spotify and I don't know what the radio stations are, so I just drove in silence.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
shows like how dependent we are on our phones. And granted, now she said if she didn't have offline maps, she wouldn't have been able to get to her cousin's house. It's a lot of places I wouldn't be able to get to if I didn't have GPS. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I was about to say won't make sense. I was about to say I literally use GPS to get to and from church and home. But the only reason I do that is just to know about traffic. Um, so I know which way to go or not to go. But yeah, because even mom, she was talking about because our grandfather wanted to get rid of his home phone and
Hmm.
just have his cell phone. And she told him, she was like, see, this is another reason why you need to just keep your home phone. So if your cell phone goes out, but I'm like, this is about safety purposes.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
mean,
yeah,
one
years
woman
ago.
I interviewed, she was nervous about her dad. Her dad's elderly, and she called him on his
But
landline.
what they was gonna do years ago if somebody didn't even have a landline? They didn't die. Or if they died, you found them eventually.
You
I mean,
found them days later.
I
Man,
mean,
can you I mean, I was the generation that we were like the first young people who had phones, but still like, man, thinking back to like not having phones, man, it's a different time.
oh yeah, oh yeah. And like okay, you talking about like when you was and even me when I was a kid, even when we had cell phones, they were nothing like cell phones now. There
Oh,
wasn't
right. Right.
no internet and all that. No. You remember the three letters per button for
Yeah.
texting?
You hurting your finger doing the little
Yeah, but yeah, AT&T, you should be ashamed of yourself offering people
Oh wow.
$5. No, I'm
They,
saying
they
$5. That's like insulting. Oh, you gonna give me $5?
I think because we know $5 is so little, it sounds like really that like that's what y'all came up with.
Okay, but
I
I'd
would
rather if
have
they had done this, said, you know what, y'all, and technically, I don't know, legally, they might not be able to do this because I guess that was y'all $5. But I'd rather them have said, total, this is $20 million, and we're gonna give it to American Red Cross or something. Like, do something
customers wouldn't have been happy with that. Now, I
right.
think they should have. Well, and then this would have still made people mad, but I think they should have said like, okay, let's say that $5 equals up to, let's just say $5 million for all their customers combined. Then they should have said we're giving $5 million back to our customers, and then let the
Oh yeah,
customers
word it
figure
different.
out that it's
Yeah.
$5.
Hey,
'Cause,
they
yeah, just saying $5 is weird.
yeah, they could have took that from politicians and all this stuff in DC where they say we doing $10 billion, but this stuff be over 10 years. And it's like,
Yeah.
you ain't doing nothing. Get on somewhere.
Oh
Look,
wow.
you and I, well, no, it's not true. When you was in high school, if I remember right, you went through a little wanting your hair twisted phase, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was very brief.
Yeah, so I was about to say you and I have always kind of had low cut, but nah, you tried to do that for a
Tried.
second.
Yeah.
Um, we still in 2024 are having these conversations about kids being in certain schools or certain places. Even people, I saw something not so long ago about a police officer who ended up losing their job or quitting or something because of it, because of
Mm.
having dreadlocks. Um, it's messed up. That
Yeah. Yeah. So in Texas, last year, lawmakers in multiple states have passed this. You may have heard on social media something called the Crown Act. And basically, it prohibits any discrimination in any workplace, public entity based on hair. And, so women wear their hair naturally. More guys are wearing dreads and twists and just a lot of things like that. So the law passed. Since August, a student, and this is outside of Houston, in Texas, this story, Barbara Hills
question.
ISD. What?
This a Texas law or a federal law?
Texas is the latest state to pass the law. Multiple states have
Mm,
passed this law.
I got you.
So
Okay.
Barber Hills ISD. There's a student, he's been a black student, he's been suspended since August in school suspension because the school district said that his hair violated their code of conduct. He had, they're not even dreadlocks, but he had his hair twisted, braided, whatever you want to call it. And so he had been in school suspension. His parents have been fighting it. And basically, it got to a point they were like, oh, well, your hair's too long. So then he had it braided up above his ears. There's like, you're still violating the policy. So last week, they finally went to court over this, and a judge sided with the school district. The judge's explanation is that the school district policy spoke to length of hair for males. And according to the judge, he said the Crown Act did not speak to length. It only said there should be no discrimination based on hair, which, and I was talking in the newsroom about this, in the office about this, because I mean, more and more journalists are able to say a little bit more, which is on their mind. So I'm not going to get in trouble for this. There's so many other bad things that are happening in public schools. This kid has been in suspension since August because of his hair. It makes no sense.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna leave this one alone, Steven.
Oh wow!
Not just because
No, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Now, yeah. Especially because, okay, who cares? And here's why I say I want to leave it alone, because I don't want to get in trouble. Who cares about the length? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand what the length of someone's hair has to do with it. Here's the part where I say I might get in trouble. Now, I do believe, but who defines this is what makes it get tricky. I do believe that your hair should be kept.
Right. No, yeah.
Uh,
I can understand that.
So, and I think this is a public school. I don't think they should have the right to really enforce something like this.
Right. It's not like it's a private school saying this is our uniform. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Right.
public school, which is different. I just don't. It's just the fact that is what we are talking about. Like that actually went to court. A kid's
it's crazy.
hair. He's been isolated from his school because of his hair. And being devil's advocate, somebody might say, well, why doesn't he just change his hair? Like, why should he have to change his hair to go to school? Like,
Yeah.
and we'll put up the picture. Like, it's not like it looks, crazy. He ain't got things hanging from it, or I don't know.
And let me clarify. Weird. Let me clarify before they come for me in the comments. I'm not saying that dreads or twists or long hair, or whatever, is unkept. That's not what I said.
Yeah, but you just keep your hair done.
You're right. Yeah, because really, what went to my mind now, especially talk about HBCUs.
Mm-hmm.
You ever sat in a class behind a female whose hair was like this? And it was nice, but that's frustrating. It's I can't see. But yeah, that's messed up. And I think it should be illegal to now I guess in their mind they're saying he kept violating the rules. But
right.
It should be illegal to keep a student in school suspension for that long.
It don't make sense. And I mean, this story has made national news, and the biggest thing was people, when they finally went to court, people were like, okay, they'll finally get, rid of this. And the fact that the judge pulled out, like saying, oh, well, the district's talking about the length of his hair.
And I bet my money, none of these judges or whatever look like him.
Correct. Yeah. It's just, and then, I mean, the thing is, especially in a state like Texas, and granted, it was Republicans and Democrats who voted to pass the law, right? The Crown Act. But it was still an uphill battle to get it passed. Like it was stalled 2 years ago, and then it came back last year. And so to get it passed, and then, I mean, now this means they need to go back. In Texas, it's weird. They meet every other year. So in 2025.
Oh, I did not know that.
2025, and amend the law to now say discrimination against hair length and hair, like, which is that's busy work for no reason that doesn't have to be done.
That's the word I want to use is no longer politically correct, so I can't say it. That's crazy. I'm talking about they meet every other year. That's the part I'm
Yeah,
talking about. It's
it
crazy.
shocked me when I moved down here. Because you're used to lawmakers, the legislature
So,
meeting every year, so they pass a budget for 2 years.
so a whole year goes by and they don't meet.
Now I'm gonna get some of this wrong. The original, there's 2 points that from like long ago of why they did it. One, Texas is so big, and keep in mind the way lawmakers used to travel to the Capitol. I mean,
Oh,
way back in the day, it was
I see where you're
dangerous
going.
to go so far every year. And then also, some of the reasoning from some people is so that you can spend a year in your district with your constituents. So it's like 1 year working in Austin, 1 year you are with the people who elected you. It's weird.
That's
It,
dumb.
it is weird, and but it's kind of run together because we had so many special sessions last year. So, but that's they meet every other year, which is um very interesting. Yeah,
Let's talk about these doggone shoes, man.
you got some heat for first. Uh,
Yes.
do you want to give your response first, or do you
No,
want to
no.
talk about the subject first?
Let's talk about it. Then I'll say what I
Okay,
would say.
look at this video, y'all. Okay, now we were talking about race and all that stuff, and I brought this up when we first talked about this. So, a person who appeared on Fox News said that these shoes, these Trump shoes, are going to attract black voters because they like sneakers. I posted on social media. That was the most ignorant thing I heard that day. Like
Oh yeah, that day. Yeah, I thought you would say
that
from
day.
him.
Oh, well, I don't even know who that man is, to be completely honest. But the that like it's one thing to do things to try to appeal to a block of voters or certain people, but saying they like sneakers, this is going to give him the edge over Joe Biden. Like,
But here's the thing: why I
uh,
think Trump believes that. Trump also said, well, not also because he didn't make that comment, but Trump said that black people liked his mugshot. Did you see that?
yeah. And
Um,
he said they wear my mugshot on his shirt, on their shirts, and then he said, um, because I've been indicted,
right.
which implies that black people only have legal troubles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's furthering this narrative that all we care about is crime, shoes, and fried chicken and watermelons. Is
yeah,
It's absolutely ridiculous. And to know that he can say all this stuff and his base, they right there with it. They
yeah,
like, yeah. Uh and it's crazy because we those who work in corporate America and everything, you work with these people. You live next to these people. You know, and it's like um we, or more so they to us, and I'm not even necessarily talking about a white black thing right now. I'm just talking about a right and wrong thing. Um, we hate each other. Is it's crazy. But back to the shoes. Back to the shoes. I got a lot of heat last week about comments I made about these shoes. I
man.
was in
So
the com-
what is your response?
Nah, okay. Let me clarify. I
You
wasn't
were
saying
saying the shoes looked appealing. Is that what you were saying?
if they look cool. That's like going back to the whole thing. I think we said it in one of the episodes. If Donald Trump was standing right next to me, I'd take a picture with him. Why? Not because I like Donald Trump, but because he was a former president of the United States. We talk about respecting the office.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm taking a picture with a former president. I'm not just taking a picture with Donald Trump. So with the shoes, if something looks cool, it looks
Mm-hmm.
cool, right? But then furthermore, I when I said I would have bought them if they weren't as much as they were, they didn't cost as much as they cost. You know me. This the Dialed In Show. I like to collect things that are either cool
Collect,
or have a
collect.
story or something like that. There are many things that I'll go ahead and be honest because we being real. Y'all, I like to collect certain liquor bottles and stuff.
You
Now,
don't
somebody
drink
else
it.
may Right. Now somebody may say, "Oh my God, did he just say that? He a pastor. He
Right.
said he collect liquor."
He don't drink them.
Right. Stephen say, "I don't even drink it. I just either it has a story like black. That's what I could. Well, man,
Oh, you about to say Hennessy?
she's about to no. She's about to be a billionaire.
What, Nearest brothers? I mean,
Yes,
Nearest,
Uncle Nearest.
Uncle Nearest.
Yeah. Phenomenal story. Dang, that's what we should have talked about on today. Because Uncle Nearest is really who taught Jack Daniels, but we're not talking about
Correct.
that. I'm
And
saying all that.
they're about to give some money to some HBCUs. I know Claflin's on the
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say I like to collect things. And so in my mind, to 50 years from now, have these shoes from this crazy president that we had would be cool. That's all. That's all. But look, I'm not gonna buy his shoes or his cologne.
They sold
Uh
out. You
or
missed the boat. You missed out.
yeah. Um
I
so
would have
just
put one
know
on layaway for you.
so just know if y'all ever see me with some liquor or something from a person y'all don't like or something, it's probably just because I'm collecting it. It's not a
Mm. Yeah, you got some heat.
oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
told you that was gonna happen though. You didn't believe me. You didn't believe me.
Yeah, because you said all they gonna hear is that you like Donald Trump or his shoes or
Which,
whatever.
well, I mean, that's not what this podcast is. But if you did, that's between you and the voting booth. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's all people are going to hear is one thing, and I mean that's the age we're in too. Of we hear one thing and then you just run with it and not hear the context of it. So, no, I can just say I told you so. That's all.
Look, it's not in our set, but two things for politics I want to bring up.
Mhm.
One, let's go back to Texas real quick. I believe it was Alabama, I think. Have you seen the stuff about them saying you disposing of an embryo is
Yeah,
like the same as abortion or whatever?
yeah.
This morning, if it wasn't this morning, it was just last night. Your governor, the oh man, I really wish I wasn't no pastor. If I wasn't no pastor, we would really have some fun. We really would. But your governor, uh, standing tall, was talking to Dana Bash. You missed it.
Continue.
Was talking to Dana Bash, and he said that um it's complex. He said, I support IVF, but it's complex. Do you think that
Yeah,
Texas is going to do what
no.
Alabama did?
No, and Alabama is going to backtrack on what they are doing because Donald Trump got pressure and said he supports IVF.
Mm,
Because that's a bit too extreme. You know how many there are so many families who use that, and conservative families who use that,
yeah.
and so I think now that Trump has said he supports it, I think people in Alabama will mysteriously change their mind. I'll put it like that.
Mm,
But I mean, well, that was the Supreme Court thing. But you get what I'm saying. Lawmakers, they'll change it. And CNN, the minority leader in the House in Alabama was on CNN this week, and he was asked about it. And he said that he thinks because Donald Trump made those statements, siding with Democrats, that something had changed. But he said that was in details, so you never know. I think all these states are just trying to see who can out conservative who. And so they're just finding different ways to come up with laws that look more extreme to the other.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
was your
I
other
think this. I
political
think this.
question?
Well, where do you stand on it? Do you think that what what the Alabama is doing is good or bad?
I think it's going to harm more families because, like I said, it's a lot of families who need that to have a child. So
Yeah.
I think it'll get changed.
Do you think it's the same as abortion, disposing of an embryo?
Man, I'm not that knowledgeable about
Well, from what I understand, I think is sometimes some of these parents they get these embryos or
it.
these
Mhm.
eggs and the whole nine, and they freeze them, if you
Yeah.
will. And then once you've had, so they might have multiple.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say they use one and it's successful, they may say, well, okay, well,
Right.
we just want one kid, we don't want the other ones.
Right.
The disposal of those other ones, I guess, is what they're saying is the same as like killing a child. Because if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, I believe Nikki Haley supported it.
Like I said, everyone is trying to cater to the reddest of red meat. I mean, it's election season. If this wasn't a presidential election season, we likely wouldn't even be talking about this. I mean, things do happen on purpose. I mean, it's the perfect time to talk about it. In Texas, we're having like they don't want to call it like a Republican infighting because a group of Republicans voted to impeach our attorney general. He was acquitted last year. So now he's on a revenge tour. He's endorsing all the people who are running against the incumbent Republicans who voted to impeach him. The governor is going against the people who went against him, the school choice. So we're having way more Republican ads because Republicans are fighting Republicans, which is something that you don't often see. Typically in a primary, for someone who's been in office for a while, they just kind of sail to reelection. And
Yeah.
a lot of races are being challenged. So we're seeing all this back and forth. So it's the timing of it. I mean, this is intentional. It's to make people talk. It's to cater to the base. In any primary, you're catering to the most extreme wings of your party. Democrats, you're catering to the most progressive wing of the party. That's the same thing with Republicans.
You heard about the young lady who was murdered at UGA?
Yeah, I was looking at. I think they had a vigil or something yesterday on campus.
Yeah. Supposedly the guy who did it allegedly was from somewhere, not from here. But there was this conversation that I saw on Facebook, and I didn't verify it as far as, but it might be true. Because they said, no, the reason I say it is I trust what they're saying, the people who said it.
Mm-hmm.
The governor of Georgia allegedly, I'm saying allegedly because I didn't hear my own ears,
Mm-hmm.
when he had his press conference yesterday or day before, he mentioned that the city of Athens, where the University of Georgia is a
Mm-hmm.
sanctuary city. Uh,
Oh, well, I don't
and
know.
it doesn't say I don't know, but I trust that these people not saying he didn't say that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say if it is, in the comments, and I knew some of these people in comments, um, there was frustration. Number one, that people didn't know that Athens was a sanctuary city and
Mm-hmm.
that it is a sanctuary city and that they would allow a city with a large population of young people, they're
Mm-hmm.
referencing students at UGA, to be a sanctuary city. So I guess my question to you is not whether or not you support sanctuary cities, but do you support sanctuary cities being in cities that have a high number of young people? Like, should they be in?
I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think that could be a narrative that someone's choosing to talk about because some cities are just sanctuary cities in name only. Like, but some cities actually are sanctuary cities. Like, if you look at like LA or New York City, like they are saying, yeah, we won't, when police investigate crimes, they're not going to report you if you're undocumented or if you're illegal because they are investigating the crime, not the other thing. Man, I think that's semantics. As far as like it being in a college town, it's a bunch of colleges in New York. There's a bunch of colleges in LA. It's a bunch of colleges in Chicago. So I just think that's something that someone, if it's true, may just be using to fit their narrative. Because what does Sanctuary City have to do with college?
Well, I guess that's going back to our 40, was he 45th president's idea of these people, and that they're
Yeah,
dangerous
no.
people.
Now I will say, and there have been multiple stories on this, like from Governor Abbott busing migrants to different sanctuary cities. There have
Mhm.
been way more crimes involving undocumented people or migrants who crossed illegally that are committing crimes. Now that doesn't fit the narrative of what Donald Trump said years ago of they're rapists. They're like
Right.
he's categorizing them as one group, and that's not accurate. But are there crimes happening from people who have entered the country illegally? Yeah. I mean, no one can say there hasn't. There has. There's been multiple incidents in New York where that has happened. But I'm just saying the whole, and I don't even know if Athens is a sanctuary city, but the whole narrative of sanctuary cities shouldn't be where college is. I think that's a stretch. I don't know. I just yeah. Moving on. You look at you asking all these like contentious questions.
Nah, um, who? Dang, Republicans slam Athens mayor for running a sanctuary city. This is according to Fox 5 Atlanta. So is real UJ campus murder? Are there sanctuary city counties in Georgia? Sanctuary
Yeah,
city is
but I just
commonly
don't understand
defined.
what sanctuary city has to do with a college though. Like a college
Well,
town. You know how many colleges are in cities? Like I just don't
but
understand
you
the
know how many
connection.
cities don't have colleges, though. I
Well, I'm
think.
thinking I don't understand the connection though. So they're saying if it wasn't a sanctuary city, this possible suspect wouldn't have been there. That doesn't mean that he could have traveled there. Okay, let's
I
say
think
Atlanta
we
is a
kind of.
sanctuary city. No, I'm saying let's say Atlanta is a sanctuary city, which it might be.
Yeah, I would say it might be.
Okay, so let's say he was in Atlanta. If he
hmm
wanted to commit a crime, oh, I want to go to Georgia, 45 minutes away. What's the difference?
Oh, he's my University of Georgia.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Uh,
If him traveling from a sanctuary city to commit this alleged crime
but
to
I think
already being in the city.
that's the hypothetical question, though. This isn't hypothetical. He was in a sanctuary city and he committed a
But what
crime.
I'm saying is, what does the sanctuary city have to do with the crime? If someone committed a crime, they committed a crime. Like
No, they're saying if he had never been there, then
he might have committed the crime in another city. Is what I'm
yeah,
saying. Like,
yeah.
what does the location have to do with the crime? If
Okay, I think it's like
shoot,
this.
if people didn't drink alcohol, we might not have any deaths on the road. Like that's just a general statement. That doesn't mean someone's gonna be drunk tomorrow and hit you. Like I just don't like that the generalization of it. Like
Yeah, I think it's
saying,
like
okay,
this.
well, if we didn't have a sanctuary city, this murder wouldn't have happened. That's not true because it could have still.
It could. I think it's like this, and I'm being devil's advocate a little bit, but a little bit I'm being for real. The and I might get in trouble for saying this for comparing the two. I think it's like how you have sex offenders who are not supposed
Mhm.
to live near schools.
Right.
I think for those who have this idea in their head that these people are criminals, it's the same
Mhm.
thing for them. It's like, well, they
Yeah, but
shouldn't
that
be
person can
around.
just travel to somewhere they're not supposed to go and still commit the crime. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess. We maybe me
You
and
done
you.
brought up some drama, man. I'm a should delete this segment.
No, we being real. It's just I just think okay to her family.
Right. Now I understand the victim, yeah, the victim's family is probably gonna say, oh, if he wasn't here, this wouldn't have happened, which is a possibility. But also, a person could have traveled to said location and committed the crime. So that's all I'm saying. Like saying this would have never happened, I don't think is accurate.
I guess politics part of the Dowden show is always my favorite part. I just think that it's I don't know, and I'm
Your
not
camera
against.
breaking up. Hold on, Micah. Your camera breaking up. I don't. You're frozen.
Nah, you should just keep going. It's not gonna be like that in post. Now I got to cut that out. Uh, uh, you may figure out saying go on to sports.
What
Then
were
I
you
might leave
saying?
all that in.
Okay, whatever. Then
No,
how you gonna say I might leave all that in?
I think what I'm saying is I'm not against sanctuary cities. I'm not against
I'm not
legal.
taking a position on that. All I'm saying is saying, "Oh, do you think sanctuary city should be in a college town?" What does that have to do with anything?
I don't
Like, what
see
does it
what
have to
you
do
don't
with
see what
anything?
it has to do with it.
Okay, so let's say if Atlanta is a sanctuary city, University of Georgia, I mean not
Y-
University, Georgia Tech,
Georgia
Georgia
State,
State,
Morehouse,
Mark
Spelman, all that.
Atlanta, more. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
like somebody gonna say the same thing?
Maybe well, and I think Atlanta and Athens are is two different situations.
But what I'm not understanding is, okay, what though? Like, what about it? Like,
The
and
epicenter of Athens is UGA. So
okay,
I guess what they're saying is why would you make a sanctuary city be a city where the main focus in that city is young people between ages of 18 and 22?
what does the age have to do with it?
Because they're saying that some of these people
You
are dangerous.
okay, but those students aren't there 365 days a year.
she was there the day she got killed.
And also, no, but I'm saying also people just live there. Like I just
You
don't
talking about in Athens?
understand.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the connection with the age. Like I'm not understanding. Like what?
So okay, so you're saying, and correct me if I'm not taking you right. You're saying once you graduate high school, you're an adult, and so all these age things don't matter.
I'm just saying. So what? So every college town's supposed to be a bubble. I'm just not understanding because I don't think some people understand what sanctuary city is either. Like that just means they're more welcoming to people who who are not here legally, or you know what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
the groups of people that are being sent to sanctuary cities, and this is what people don't understand. Even the people that Governor Abbott is busing away, those people are being they've been processed and they've been sent to other places while they are waiting their hearing, their
Hmm.
legal status hearing. So it's not like someone crossed the border and then a governor or something said, "Oh, you want to get on this bus? We're going to bus you to Athens and not vet you and nothing like that." Like, I don't
I
know.
just think
I don't
if
know.
it was
It's a hot
my
button. It's a hot
sister,
button issue, and I'm trying not to. I'm treading very lightly with what I say. Is what I'm saying.
I
I
got
just
you.
don't understand the whole because it's a college town. I still don't understand what that has to do with anything.
All right. Well, we can move
I
on to
just don't
sports.
understand what it has to do with anything. Like,
I look, like I said,
because
I'm not
technically they're adults.
right. So that's why I brought up the whole question about, do you think after high school then they're an adult, so age don't matter? Uh Look, I'm not against sanctuary cities. I'm not against immigrants. I'm
So I'm
just
not taking a
saying,
side either way. I'm just saying I don't understand the argument of this college city. I mean, it's still a city. Like,
hmm
regardless of what you think, it's still a city. Yeah.
I get,
Now, their number one employer is the University of Georgia. Yeah, but what is that? I just don't understand the reasoning. I don't know.
yeah. So we just agree to disagree. I'm not saying I agree with them people, but I do understand it a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
But
You
you can
saying
say
you
that
don't
about
understand it?
anything. If your loved one gets killed by a drunk driver, man, if they didn't sell alcohol in this city, or if your loved one, like, I'm just not understanding. I don't know. This is way over my head. It's above my pay grade.
No, it's not. But okay. Look, at Duke, tell us what happened at Duke.
It wasn't at Duke, but all right. One, I don't like Duke. Um, but
Wake Forest, wherever.
yeah, so Duke was playing a game. They got upset, I believe, by Wake Forest. And in college, when you win a big game, when you beat a top ranked team, Wake Forest was not ranked. I believe Duke may have been ranked 8th. And Wake Forest is a team that doesn't always beat Duke. Regardless, when big games happen in college, kids storm the court or they storm the field. If Georgia beat number one Alabama and Georgia wasn't ranked, Georgia's going to run on all the fans run on the field. Now, for years, the conference will fine the school if it happens. And I think it's like $5 million or something like that. But um, kids do it to celebrate, and it's kind of like just tradition, pageantry. When this happened last week, a Duke player was injured, one of their star players. And in the post game press conference, the coach was saying, "This is dangerous. We need to ban storming the court." What do you think? Do you think like fans running up? Because I mean, the second the game ends, everyone's running on, and so the away team, or yeah, the away team players have not safely gotten to the locker room, and there have been instances where you got drunk fans or regular fans. They might, take advantage and hit a player on purpose. Now, this one, I don't think he was hit on purpose. He was just rushed and hurt
Yeah.
himself. Do you think it should be banned?
Yeah. I mean, now it's tradition and it's everybody having fun. It's almost like we've been doing it this long. Why stop now? But you can't say that
Mhm.
about everything because something should stop. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, at the point when especially star players are getting hurt, now you messing up our money. Uh,
That's all they care
then
about. I mean, Caitlin
right,
Clark at Iowa, when the team beat them, and well, some people said she flopped when you look at the video, but she was hit by a fan running on the court. So this is something that is being seen more. It's not just like once a year.
But
And
what's the penalty though? Do you
for
get
what?
arrested? Like if you
No,
do it?
no. I said the school gets fined by the conference.
No, I'm saying, okay, if the school wants to enforce this, okay, to the fans. So you tell
Right. And
them,
then how you gonna be
y'all,
able to catch every single person who ran on the
right? So
court?
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. If everybody do it, what, y'all about to arrest everybody? That's
Right. I just
uh,
I don't see. I mean, I like it. Like the storming of the court is cool. It
yeah.
speaks to it makes it shows how college is more passionate than
It's a
some
part of the
other.
experience.
Yes, but I do recognize that some players are getting hurt, which sucks. Especially like, okay, let's say it's UNC Duke, or if it's Georgia Alabama, or like schools that don't actually like each other. Then that might open up the floor for someone to do something inappropriate and
A
hurt a
fight
player
or something,
intentionally.
yeah.
Um, but I don't want to see it banned, but I wish there was a way. I mean, there's no way because it literally happens the second the clock hits zero. So there's no way to
Yeah.
shuffle the away team out and then let the kids storm the court. So I don't know. So you think they should ban it?
Uh, uh, I mean, really, I say no because we've been doing it forever. And I say
Well, we've been doing a lot of things forever. So
right,
I don't know if that's what you want to say.
right. Well, I said that a second ago. I said you can't say that for everything,
Right.
because some things do need to change. But for the safety of the players and the safety of their money, yeah, ban it. I just don't know how they're going to enforce it. That's why I brought up the
Yeah.
whole. That is a part I don't know how they're going to do. Because I don't think it would be enforced fairly, which that opens up a whole nother conversation. So I don't know. I think that can get dangerous.
Say it again.
I think that can get dangerous because I don't know how they would enforce it.
You keep freezing, man.
You're
I
completely
don't know what
frozen
you're
on
saying.
my. You're completely frozen
You're
on my
still
screen.
freezing, and now it's buffering. Just wait. Just wait. All right. Now, what'd you say?
I said, now you was completely frozen on my screen too.
Oh, well.
But
What were you saying?
I said I just don't know how it would be enforced, and I think that would get to be a dangerous situation because I don't think it would be enforced fairly. I don't think everybody would get the same treatment.
Right.
Especially in certain areas, I think certain people would get tackled before others, and so I think it would open the door to some stuff that just doesn't have to. But hey, nobody deserves to get hurt though,
Right.
player or
All right.
not.
All right. So a little inspiration, man. We've had some heated conversation today. So police officers have body cameras, and sometimes it catches bad things, and sometimes it catches good things. So here in the Texas area, the Denton Police Department, a woman vehicle went off of a bridge at like 2:30 in the morning. She was trapped inside, and the officers were able to save her. Take a look.
I'm gonna break this. Huh? Are you okay? ¿Estás sola? ¿Estás sola? ¿Estás sola? ¿Estás sola? ¿Estás sola? Okay. That's it. It's just her. It's just her.
It's you? Climb up here. Climb up. Thank you very much. Thank you. Climb up. See that tree?
So it's pretty cool. I mean, like I said, body cameras catch good things and bad things sometimes, but that was a good thing that happened. So I'm happy they were able to save her.
Yeah, be a nice person.
I mean, they were doing their job, but okay, yeah.
Hey, there's plenty of
They were
people
doing
who
their
got a
job.
job to do and they don't be nice.
What's your kick of the week, man?
Here it is, fresh off the press. I've not worn this. I believe, I'm being
Ooh,
honest, I
you
believe
still
I'm
got
gonna
a
wear this.
tag on it?
Yeah, I believe I'm gonna wear this for Easter, I think.
Oh, You already know what shoe you're gonna wear for Easter.
Yeah, because I already know what suit I'm wearing, so I believe I'm wearing this for Easter.
All right. Well, I
like
got
it.
some little. I'm bringing back to the dunks. I got some little green joints. Man, it's
Oh,
all. Man, I can't. It's too bright.
those are kind of cool though. I like the color.
Yeah, they're nice.
Oh
Little
boy.
green dunk. Yeah. All right. So remember to now follow us on Instagram, Facebook, The Dialed In Show, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that jazz.
Yeah. Make sure y'all are leaving reviews and ratings on the podcast platforms and fill up the comments. I don't think we can make the decision yet because it seemed kind of split whether or not y'all would be called the Dialers or
I think
the
the Dialers.
Dialed In fam.
The Dialers.
I like the Dialed In fam, but
all right, we'll continue that conversation on the comments. We will see you guys next week.
Your mother said the Dialed In fam, but okay.
Move
See
on.
y'all next week.
She just trying to, man. See y'all next week.
Y'all have a great week. Bye.